Hi everyone, Dr. Jeff here with you again this week with Coach Magdalene. This is Madeline's last week, so we're sad to see her go. She'll be back in school in January. We'll have a new student here. Fiona will be joining us in the new year, so we're excited to spend time with Fiona. So as going away, we did a workshop back November 18th that Madeline put together. We talked a little bit about balance and vertigo and falls. So I thought we'd talk a little more about that tonight.
Yeah, so falls are a leading cause of ER visits in older adults. So it's a skill that you need to practice to prevent these falls is strengthening exercises at home. So just like hockey, just like piano, it's a skill that you need to practice over and over. So today we'll demonstrate some of those exercises so you're able to try them at home.
Yes, balance is a big part of preventing falls, and as Madeline said, it is a skill you need to practice. Without practice, chances are you're going to fall. So let's get together and get these exercises.
Perfect.
So the first exercise we're going to demonstrate is called a single leg standing exercises. And all this is pretty simple. So we're going to get a chair, because the one thing we want to do is not fall over. So we want the chair to catch us. When you're doing balance stuff, what happens is you've got your eyes, you've got your ears, and you've got your neck, and they have to triangulate through space. So they have to tell the body where you are in space. So this is just a simple exercise to try and get our balance going. So to start off, you can just hold on to the chair. We're going to stand on one leg and see that without falling over. Whole idea is if you can do this for up to a minute without an issue, we can go on to step two. Step two is we're going to let go of the chair. So again, if you can do this up to a minute, that's great. If you can do it for 30 seconds, that's good. Whole idea is we have the chair here, so in case you do have a balance issue, you can grab onto the chair. If you can do that for a minute, the next thing we're going to do is now we're going to close our eyes. So if we close our eyes, you can see we're getting a little wobbly. Now we're actually taking our eyes away from that triangulation, so we're trying to really work on the ear and the neck to try and tell us where our head is in space. Again, if you do this for a minute, that's great. And then you can kind of stop. So one thing we do when we take our eyes away is we're making the other senses, or other ears and our neck and our feet and our other senses, to try and take over our loss of our eyesight. And this is really good to try and get coordination of our body, so that if you trip over the corner of the rug or the curb when you're falling, your body will have an idea where it is in space and be able to correct itself without actually falling down. So a variation of the exercise we did on one leg standing is now we're going to have feet one in front of the other. So now we're actually changing our support stance. Instead of being wide, now we're narrow. So now we've got a little more smaller area to get our center of gravity over. So we can do that. So just trying to stand like that first, and holding it for a minute is really good. The next thing we're going to do is we don't have to hold on the table. So the next thing we do is actually close our eyes. Again, if we close our eyes, now a much narrower stance. So we're taking, again, one of our senses away. Makes it a little bit harder, because now we're on a narrower stance, so center of gravity doesn't have as much of a space to actually get centered. Once we're really good at that, we can actually, if I move the chair, we can actually do one where we're actually going to walk backwards. So change your position here. So we're just going to, again, walk backwards, placing your, just like that, and without falling. And then if you're really good, come on back. If you're really good, now we're going to go further. We're going to close our eyes. We're going to do the same thing. Makes it a little bit harder. And again, the whole idea behind this is that we take one of our senses away, and that's going to make the other senses a little more aware, so that if we do start to fall, our body's going to have a chance to try and reposition itself as we go. Great. So we've done a couple of balance exercises we do to try and work on your ears, your eyes, and your neck, trying to get you to balance using those. The other thing we want to do is we want to make sure we have strong legs and strong core, so that if you do start to trip or fall, what happens? Your legs are strong enough to pick you up, and your core is strong enough to rebalance yourself. So one of the exercises we do for that is called a sit-stand. So all we're going to do is we're going to sit down in a chair, all right, put our arms out, and we're going to get ourselves out of the chair. So what you want to make sure we do is we want to sit down again. We want to make sure that we come straight up. So straight up. That's it. Straight up. Just like that. Try again. Yeah, that's better. You notice first couple times she was rolling herself forward. That's kind of cheating because you're throwing your center of gravity in front so you can get yourself up a little easier. We want to make sure we strengthen legs by going straight up and down. So this is something you might want to try in front of a mirror so you can see that you're doing it properly, or you'll have your wife or spouse helping you out making sure that you're doing it straight up and down.
All right, so another strengthening exercise that can help you prevent falls would be the glute bridge. So in this exercise, you'll have your knees bent and you'll lay on your back and you'll bring your hips upward. You'll make sure you keep your back straight and keep everything in line. And for this exercise, you're working your abdominals, your back muscles, and as well as your glute muscles. Awesome. The next strengthening exercise is the clamshell, and you lay on your side with your knees bent and you bring your opposite knee towards the sky and you bring it back down and you'll bring it back up and you can hold it for 10 seconds. And so this exercise is good for your glute med, your glute max, as well as your piriformis muscle, and so it's another good exercise for fall prevention. So for the balance exercises, you want to try each one for a minute each, 3 times a week. And for the strengthening exercises, you want to do 10 reps and 3 sets of those 3 times a week.
Yeah, so one thing you do is if you can do it all in the same day, if you want, or if you want to split it up and do, Monday, Wednesday, Friday you do strength, and Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday you do balance. That's up to you, but it's important. It is a skill that you need to learn and you need to practice. And these are kind of the basic drills or basic things that we do to get your balance going. Once you feel comfortable doing these exercises, there's more advanced exercises. We can introduce you, on unlevel surface, so on a towel, on a basu ball. We can get you sliding your feet back and forth. We can start to add weight, so when you're doing your sit stand, we can add some weight to it. So it's more advanced things than this, but these are the basic ones that we're talking about to see where you are as far as practicing. If you can do these exercises without an issue, then we can start talking about doing more advanced balance exercises. And the whole idea is to try and keep you from falling and breaking something.
Yeah.
Because the number one cause of ER visits, as we mentioned, is falls. You end up in the hospital, you break an arm, you break your pelvis, you break your femur, and you're stuck in the hospital forever, and you get sick, and more things can happen. So we avoid falls at all costs.
Yeah. All right. So if you liked this video this week, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of these videos. Make sure to comment if you have any topics you'd like us to cover, or shoot us an email. And as always, at Goldsworthy Wellness, we got your back.